We have a tweet here from Mr. Obvious. Breaking, the hacker known as 4chan has announced the U.S. is going to be launching a military strike on Iran. It turns out Venezuela was a test run. If this is true, it'll jumpstart World War III and the U.S. economy and cause a total ish storm. Be advised, we are going to war. Now, we don't know if this is true or not, this post, because, hey, it's the internet. But someone on, I believe, 4chan said, I posted yesterday with a 36-hour timeline. We are now in the 24-hour window. Look for a significant number of Iranian leadership to be exterminated. The leadership of Iran is made up of a secret council of 22 military and political leaders who meet regularly in a bunker in Tehran. One of their members is a Mossad agent. Needless to say, this group goes first. Israel knows after the last few years, this is the time to end this issue, and tactical nukes will take out most of Iran's missile infrastructure in the first strike. Tehran will go in the first wave with a false flag attack set up for Israel to kick things off. Cheers. He added, or I believe this was the first statement, Venezuela was a test for what is happening in Iran. A large part of the Iranian military and leadership will be vaporized in the opening salvos. Israel will use tactical nukes to take out Iranian missiles and their bases. We're about T-minus 3 days now. I want to say real quick, skepticism. The use of tactical nukes is a bold statement.
Yeah. Well, this does sort of align with what I was thinking, is that we're also at the precipice of, we're at this time in history where the United States has weapons that the rest of the world doesn't have. Just insane vibration tech that makes people piss their pants and die. And in 10 years, the rest of the world will have it. And they know that, so they need to use it if they're going to. That's the thinking of these military guys, is we need to use it while we have the technology.
Wait. But Ian, that's 10 years old, bro. That's 20 years old. These conversations around, say, like ULF generators, so this is crazy. What we heard in Venezuela is that apparently one of these collectivos reported that there was like a boom, and then all of a sudden they all became violently ill. Mm-hmm. And that is in line with the conspiracy theories about what's called an ultra-low frequency generator. Basically that the ultra-low frequencies can cause you to feel sick instantly, and the government has weaponized a very powerful low-frequency pulse to disable people. But that conversation was 20-some-odd years ago. My point is, while I do agree with you, maybe they're saying we should use it now. The weapons the government has would probably blow your effing mind. Mm-hmm. When it comes to actual war, they're going to do things you didn't even imagine because you don't know about the weapons they got. Bro, let me tell you this, 10 years ago, heck, what is it, 26? This is 14 years ago. There was a Kickstarter for micro drones that fly like insects. We know that the U.S. government has tiny micro drones that can fly. Very, very small. Bro, we're watching universities create liquid robots that can segment. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
It's the video. It's a really slow-moving gel, but it can split in two and then recombine. And they're like, we are programming the weirdest materials. So we know about the heart attack gun. You know about that one, right?
Yeah, that's a CIA. The church hearings revealed that.
And guys, the heart attack gun is not even a crazy thing to imagine. Basically, you shoot someone with a dart that's got some. I'm not going to describe exactly what, but they're
toxin. I mean,
no, not even toxins, bro. Oh. Not even toxins. Oh, let's just call it, without getting too much detail, potassium combination. Just that's it.
Yeah.
And then it causes a heart attack. And they've had this for 50 some odd years, longer probably. So anyway, my point is, if they want to go boots on the ground, they're going to be using probably conventional weapons on the surface. But the special weapons, man, you won't even know they happened.
Right.
I bet they can release tiny drones and they can just swarm them in and they'll take out leadership very easily.
Well, I mean, we saw where they literally just turned Caracas off. And
exactly.
So it's like they have these. But to this, like with this post and then some of the rumors that I think all of us are hearing coming out of the Beltway, something we have to keep in mind here is in the lead up to the Venezuela operation and then the actual Venezuela operation itself, there was zero rumors. It was airtight. It just happened, and everyone was surprised. Even people at the top level of military intel were shocked that it happened.
Except Polymarket.
Sure, but it's like but that was because of like the fleet movements, which are impossible to hide. But it's like with this, all of a sudden there's rumors everywhere. Everyone's got scoops, this sort of thing. That just seems obvious to me that the Trump administration is trying to they're trying to build leverage here. They're trying to put pressure on the Iranians. So these are tactical leaks that are happening here because again, they have demonstrated with Venezuela that if they want to keep it airtight, they can.
I think that's probably true. On the human sources front, I expect that we probably have way more than we realize because we obviously had people in the Venezuelan regime who were helping the American government. But also recently, the CIA has been releasing a series of videos trying to convince CCP officials to leak to the United States. I don't know that they're doing those because they work, but to send a message to China that we have some of your guys. Yeah. And that's precisely why I think those leaks were coming out about certain Chinese officials being tossed out or executed or what have you, is that China was trying to send a counter signal. Well, this is what happens to you if you leak to the United States.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw the Iranians shake out a lot of, like, they weren't high level officials, but during the protests, you know, these guys were, some of them are defecting. These are like more like ethnic related sort of blowups. But like the Iranians were starting to clean house a little bit. They were freaked out because, again, a lot of intel was getting passed along to Western news outlets and no one knew how, no one knew.
Well, you know what really annoys me about the whole thing is it's so wishy-washy. They're like, the propaganda machine has not given us clear messages as to what the establishment is trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. The military-industrial complex, you know, during the Bush era, it was, if you defied the invasion, you are not on TV. They cut you off. Now, there is no defined narrative on what the establishment is trying to do.
I'll give it to you guys. Liberal economic order, listen to me. This is what you guys are doing. You're avoiding World War III because you're going to set up a quadrupolar universe, quadrupolar world. There's going to be the liberal United States and Europe. There's going to be the Israeli bloc, the Russian bloc, and the Chinese bloc.
That's
together,
war.
All four blocks will protect the planet. we will lead.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because we trust the Chinese Communist Party, right?
So it's either that or World War III. That's what Martyr
or a
made,
unipolar
Scott
world.
Horton, or a unipolar, which is just as bad. Could be just as bad, because then you have the top-down control authority.
You know, if there's one thing I learned from Democrats, it's that the only thing that matters is that you maintain your order. And what I mean by that is, if we believe in a functional, classically liberal society, then we must oppose, by all means, anyone who seeks to subvert it or destroy it. So if you are operating within the confines of a constitutional United States of America, and you seek to operate within the confines of the Constitution, and you debate on policy, we are good. But if you are a communist who is lying, cheating, and stealing to burn it all down, now we've got a problem, and we have to stop that from happening.
What's happening, though, is that the government is changing from a liberal democracy, from a liberal democratic republic, to a technocratic system where de facto we say we got free speech, but a corporation can take away your bank account or mute your account, which it demeans your free speech in the modern technical era with electricity. We don't have horses, and we don't need to send our representatives off to the Capitol one day. Maybe we'll hear back from you. Like, bro, this is a fast-moving, intelligent world now. So the technocracy, it's like, I think it's going to be kind of I want it to be a quadrupolar world where it's just going to be technocratic spy control, dude. It's going to be either you give us your information or we're going to spy on you and take it.
Brother, quadrupolar means 4 different powers. They're constantly going to be in flux and fighting with each other for more power.
Yes, limited skirmishes, ideally. That's what we've been doing.
It's not going to be, bro.
Since the 50s.
It's not going to be limited. Never in history.
Has been since the 50s.
We've never seen a global balance. There's something called Thucydides' trap. We cite it ad nauseum.
Well, we got 80 years we've been at balance. I mean, limited.
You mean unipolar dominance?
The balance, Cold War, that like
seriously,
multiple hot conflicts.
And the only reason there was like quote unquote balance is because of the threat of nuclear weapons. Like it was totally because you didn't want to start a fight with either of the big boys. So they had the small proxy wars. But like the United States and Russia getting into any kind of significant conflict would be the end of modern society.
You might think, with humans able to kill each other easier because we have airplanes and bigger weapons, that it would have happened faster. But it's like driving on a road past someone. You don't want to hit the guy, just like real life.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
We've had the most peaceful era like in human history just because the magnitude of death is exorbitant. Yeah.
Sup.
Mosquito drones.
Yeah.
Dude. You don't need that much of like a neurotoxin to take out a person. I guarantee you the U.S. government's got micro delivery methods.
They must sit around.
So easy.
They must be like, or probably they should be like, okay, if we use this, it's going to get used against us at some point. How ethical is this thing to unleash?
No.
You know,
that's not the way the weapons race for weapons works. They're saying it's going to happen no matter what. Like the Cold War. The arms race was they're building nukes no matter what we do. It's not that if we use it, they might then do it later. It's they have it now and they might use it now. And bro, you know about the story where the Russian sub guy almost launched a nuke, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that guy. What was his name?
Wasn't it like they didn't know if it was a false alarm, so he decided not to fire, and his protocol was to.
Yeah.
And then it would have been it. And then there's the other story, interesting, that we were going to launch when a UFO appeared and shut down our nuclear weapons. You ever hear that one?
No, but we should talk about it.
Wasn't there an official under Kim Jong-un that was killed by a toxin in an airport? Like a woman wiped his face.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he
I
just
think that was
dropped
like
dead.
someone related in his line of lineage.
That wasn't that long ago.
This was uncle, right?
I knew
like that.
I knew a guy a long time ago, and he told me, a young college guy, when I was like in my early 20s, and he said, terrorism doesn't exist. I don't believe it. And obviously, you know, some crazy guy might, you know, plant a bomb or something, but he was like, no, like actual planned terror doesn't exist. Because he worked at a university in California in laboratory conditions. And he said that they have chemicals that are cheap, easily obtained, and if you touch a certain amount, you die. And he was like, I don't believe that, you know, when they say all this stuff is real, it actually is. Because if someone really wanted to terrorize somebody, there are powders that you can sprinkle in public and then people would just start dropping dead. And it's like, for $20, nobody does this stuff. He's like, I don't actually think people want to do these things. You know, the argument being that terrorism is intended to create shock and awe, not actually kill people.
Yeah, generally people don't want to fight ever. I mean, even though
Yeah, they want to eat chicken wings and sit down and watch sports.
yeah, they had the Christmas truce in World War I where they got out of the trenches, both the Germans and the French, and they were like singing together. And then it was the commanders were like, you have to fight them or we're going to kill you. And so they were like, well, all right, back to war. But nobody really wanted that.
Kim Jong-nam, the estranged brother of North Korean leader, that's my
Killed.
died February 13th after two women wiped his face with the VX nerve agent at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. He died in 15 to 20 minutes.
I don't know what it is with the East Asians, but they love using like
No.
because like in Tokyo
Bro,
they had
bro.
the sarin attack in the 90s and they just killed with
This-
sarin gas.
This really bothers me because you know what these women should have done? They should have worn the fake lips with the chemical on it and then kissed him and then he drops dead and then they peel it off like in a movie. What movie was that? Was that G.I. Joe or something?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she like
It's like Batman or something like
yeah,
that.
no. Batman was poison ivy. Just had magic.
yeah.
She had
Because out in the West, we're like blowing each other up and everything, but out in the East Asia, they got these suave like
It's very
gases. and-
sophisticated.
yeah, they're getting really
take a look at
technical.
East Asian martial arts and weapons compared to like the Europeans.
Right.
Europeans were more like larger strategy, and Asians were like the craziest techniques.
Subterfuge.
Well, because there was another one. It was another one of Kim Jong Un's enemies, and they strapped him to a chain gun, wasn't it? They strapped him to the outside of a chain gun and like fired through him and cut him in half. It was another one of another one of his enemies.
I was thinking about Kim Jong-un, man, when he was like 12, they're like, bro, your uncle's going to have you killed. He's going to kill you if you don't have him killed. You
Yeah.
need to issue the order. And he's like 12, and his dad's friends are like advising him. He's like, all right, okay.
Goblin King, bro.
They go all in out there, and they don't play around.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.